about to make some French fried onions, just like you'd buy at the store. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do yourself. I've got an onion here. I've got a good size onion here, and it's sliced extremely thin, as you can see. I have covered this in milk, and it's been soaking, about 5 or 6 minutes, okay? And I've stirred it up a little bit here and there. All right. And then what I've done is I've got just an old pie plate. I put some flour in here, and after I cook them, I got a little salt in here. And that's about it. Got some oil in here, about a little less than half a cup of oil, just enough to make just a little bit on my pan. It's getting nice and hot. You know how your grease is hot? You can try it 2 different ways. Number 1, it's got a shimmer to it. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that's how I know it's ready. And if I want to double check, look there. I just throw onion in there, it's bubbling, it's ready, okay? So the next step, though, before we fry it, is I'm just going to take some of this milk-soaked onions, and I'm going to just put them in the flour. And I'm just going to kind of dredge them around, just shoosh, 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 shoosh. Mix them around like that, all right? And then, I'll probably making a mess trying to show you this. I'm going to cut my fire down just a little bit. But anyway, I've got these. They've been dredged in the flour. And now I'm going to shake off my excess flour. A little at a time. I'm just going to put them in. And some of your flour is going to get in there. There's just no way around that. And sometimes, you know what? You just got to use your hands. There isn't a tool for every little thing. Sometimes you just got to get your hands down in there. And now that I've got flour on this hand, I'm going to keep it. I'll clean them in a minute after I get these French fried onions in here. I mean, French fried onions. These onions in here to get fried. Okay? And I'm not going to just stay with you the whole time. I'm going to get them in here and give them a stir. And you're going to watch them just like you'd watch French fries. You want them to get a nice golden brown. These are cut really thin. It's not going to take long. So I guarantee you one thing. You don't want to run off. Ooh, I got too much flour in there. You don't want to run off and leave these. So you need to really be where you're going to pay attention to these because they cook really quick. I'm just doing a little pan so you can see them good. Now I'm going to give them a stir. Clean my hand off here as best I can. I probably got a little flour on there still. I'll live. Then you're just going to give them a little stir. Keep them moving. Keep watching them. And I'll be back with you in just a second. I'm just going to keep watching these. No sense in rolling film while I'm just cooking these French fried onions. But I am going to tell you real quick what I'm doing while I am cooking them. I'm making French fried onions. And I'm going to share with you how I make cream and mushroom soup. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make green bean casserole for you. Thanksgiving's coming up. So we're going to get this green bean casserole going. From scratch. Everybody brings a green bean casserole, but do you really want to just pop the top on some French onions and open a can of cream mushroom soup and get you some mushy green beans? And nothing wrong with canned green beans for certain things. And, you know, I'm going to cut that up just about 5 degrees. But what I was saying is, you know, everything's got its place. There's nothing wrong with that stuff. But why not wow them? Take a little more time, and you can pre-prep this stuff. I'm not making everything today. I'm doing these French fried onions. I need to cut that up about 5 more degrees. I'm doing these French fried onions, and then I'm going to do the cream mushroom soup, and I probably won't put them together till the next day. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes time-wise and everything else. Doesn't take that much time. And I'll have these all dried out on a paper towel. Then I'm going to put them all in a mason jar. You know, they'll be good to go. I probably will refrigerate them. Just, you know, I usually do. And so anyway, normally I'd put more in here, but I want you to be able to really see what I'm doing. So let's give it a few minutes, and I'll come back when they're getting golden brown. I'm ready to take them up, okay? We'll be back. Okay, I'm just updating you. I kind of forgot you. And I already have that first little tiny batch. I was just trying to show you what I was doing. Now I usually fill it up like this, see. Now I can just keep them moving. There's a second batch, but this is a full batch. And I got my grease up to about 375. I kept it at 370, but I just thought I wanted that extra crisp. And here's that first little batch I did. And all you do is you drain on a paper towel. And then you just take a little pinch of salt. Now this wasn't a full batch, so I'm not going to hardly put any. You know, just put a little, and you want to salt them up. And then I'm going to wait till I really salt them when I get all of them over here. Then after I drain them on a paper towel, see, I just put them in here as I keep going, because I'm going to have another full batch of onions. And I wanted to, you know, make it clear I'm absolutely not in any way, shape, or form. I've done it myself many times. I am not knocking the green bean casserole from, you know, the little Campbell's or whatever. I think it's a Campbell's recipe originally. I can't remember now. It's been around, gosh, I know all my life. And so I just want to make that clear. I'm not knocking anything. I've done it myself. I'm just saying Thanksgiving is a special time, or any special supper. During the holidays, you'll be maybe going to covered dinners and things like that. And maybe you're bringing a covered dish. And maybe you want to bring this. Or maybe you want to bring just the southern style green beans, you know, that I make. So, hey, you do it your way. But I think if you wanted to really wow somebody, you'd make this from scratch. It's so much better and more flavorful. And the one thing is, I am going to say about, like I said, I'm not knocking it. I've done it myself. But, you know, as you get older, you're starting to really pay attention to additives and all that stuff. And when you're doing this, you know everything you're putting into your dish. You already know what's going into your dish. But, you know, this would be for any casserole. This is not just for a green bean casserole. This is for any time you want like a nice little crunchy top. You could even throw in, I just usually use the flour. And you know, if you, by the way, if your onions get a little pasty, if they're a little too wet when you've moved them over from the milk, and speaking of, I didn't have buttermilk. I would have normally covered those in buttermilk, okay? It really just adds to it a whole lot. But I didn't have any buttermilk, so I usually don't use powdered buttermilk for that kind of stuff. So I meant to get a little pint and I didn't do it. But anyway, if they get they're too wet and pasty when you're tossing them, just get your little flour scoop and just add about eighth of a cup more, and usually that'll do the trick. You want them dry. You don't want them wet and pasty when you're doing that. As you can see, these are getting nicely browned up. Yes, there's some flour settling in the bottom of that grease, but that's all right. We're going to still keep going. It's still cooking them just fine. It's just going to kind of look murky like that while you're doing this. But it's worth the effort. I think so anyway. A lot of people don't have time to do it on the weekend. Like I said, you can do this ahead. Do it ahead. And then, you know, I'll be showing you how to, I'll definitely be showing you how to get, you know, the whole casserole together. We're getting almost there with these. Almost there. Then I'm going to be ready to take them up. And I want you to see, as you can see, after they drain, these are every bit. These are all nice and fresh, but look at that. But you do have to take the time. Look, this was, it took time to slice them this thin, okay? If you've got one of those things that'll do it thin for you like that, knock yourself out. I just take my little knife and just sit there and do it, you know. And it'll come out just fine. So you don't have to have fancy things to make, you know, make your little thin slices. You have to watch your fingers though, you know. I think these are about ready to come up. I'm going to take them up. Take them up, get them on this paper towel. And there you have it, guys. That's about it. I'm going to show you again. I have this little strainer thing. I get the obvious grease off. Then I just spread them out on my paper towels I just spread them out like that. And then they get all nice and dry like this. And then I let them cool a little bit, and then I salt them. So I'm going to get these up. I'll get some more done, and I'll show you my pile of treasure at the end. Okay? We'll be back in just a second. I'm going to get all these up, throw this other batch in, and I'll show you what they look like. Get a little salt on them, give them a taste. Okay, here you go. French fried onions. Lightly salted. I'm going to put them in this clean jar. I'm going to finish these off here. and I'm going to move on to the next step. So there you have it. If you ever want French fried onions, now you know how to do it yourself. Okay? I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.